Welcome to Design Demo 2. We will begin by assessing the design plan and amount of undercut for this free end saddle case. The main concern with this case is the length of this distal extension with lack of abutments. When injecting TCS resins, there is a shrinkage phase that occurs once the melting process has cooled. This can in fact alter the fit of the partial if design is not executed with this in mind. In order to avoid an ill-fitting partial with this type of extension, we must consider two important factors. 1, the ideal palatal coverage, and 2, the proper palatal gauge. These will both play a big role in the success of this case. Avoiding a full palatal coverage is essential in a case like this to avoid a poor adaptation to the model. The gauge of the palate must coincide with the design of the palatal coverage. Typically, with a distal extension of this length, a palatal coverage of 3/4 would be ideal. However, if a horseshoe design of this length is desired, a little thicker gauge in the palate when waxing is required for stability. Looking closely at this molar, we can see a lack of tooth structure. Its moles are very shallow, offering very little retention. Therefore, this type of clasp design will provide the most retention possible given the lack of tooth definition. Follow the basic standard rules of design by going above the height of contour on the posterior teeth lingually and up the cingulums of the anterior teeth. Also, design avoiding the buccal fold areas. Use the peak of the bone contour as your guidance. As we establish the anterior clasp design, we follow the height of contour and the patient's natural cervical line, concealing a portion of the tooth from the cervical line to about 1 to 2 millimeters on the facial of the tooth. In this section, we added 2 small finger clasps for retention. Let's take a look at the complete design. It is a straightforward design. However, the range of difficulty of this case is high due to the distal extension, lack of abutments, and amount of palatal coverage needed. Our design is now complete and we're ready to block out. Due to its lack of undercuts, this case requires no blockout. The retention for this case is going to be throughout the design. Therefore, leaving this case without blocking out would be ideal. This section has a small degree of undercut. However, it would be advised to leave without blockout to maintain adequate retention in the fitting stage. This case is ready to move forward to the duplicating process.